Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Tuesday. I don't think that I've ever worn this shirt. I know this doesn't matter at all, but I don't think I've ever worn this shirt in a video. Ever. Not a vlog, not a video, anything. Because I found it in the closet last night with the tag still on it. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try this shirt on. And I tried it on and it's so baggy on me. It's a 2XL from years ago. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to break this shirt out and try this shirt on. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? I'm struggling a little bit today. I don't know, like, we'll get to that in just a second, but it's kind of been a crazy day, and honestly, my plan was to I had a hair appointment this morning, well, at noon, but I knew I'd be back by like 1:30, and then I was just gonna like boom out all these videos today, had them all planned out, and it was like one thing after another kept on happening, and I just didn't feel great today either, and I got horrible sleep last night. And so I was like, you know what? I was talking to Tanya. So I was uploading my drama video, the one video that I made today besides this. And I was sitting here. I have felt like the anxiety has just been like overwhelming last night and today. And my neighbor had texted me about the power washing and the painting and having to pick a color for the painting. And so when I got back from my hair appointment, she was just getting back from the grocery store. And so she came over here. And we sat and talked, not just about that, but we talked about all kinds of stuff. And it was like the most relaxed I had felt like probably in the last 24, 36 hours. And I was like looking out here at my bird feeders that are in the tree now. And they're so pretty. And maybe I should do a whole video about that tomorrow. That'll be my Peter Does Stuff video tomorrow. But anyway, there was like I haven't seen any birds on the bird feeder except for this one little bird when I was sitting here talking to her came over. It was like this little bird came over and was eating from the green one. I kind of want him to go to the wood one because it looks more homey, but they keep on going, or that one went to the green one, and then it went around the side, and then it flew away, and then it came back. I could tell it was the same bird. But anyway, that was like the most peaceful I have felt probably in the last 24 hours. Yeah, the anxiety, I don't really understand what's going on. I have a therapy appointment on Thursday, so I'm going to wait till Thursday and kind of see what, like how things are going, and I'm going to talk to him about it, and then at that point, we got to come up with some kind of plan, because this has been going on for too long now, and, I was talking to Tanya about, like, how when I was on vacation, like, I didn't feel the anxiety at all, and then I come back, and it's like, it starts up right away. So, as much as I say that I don't believe that it is, and I have another one of my friends that like has struggled greatly for the last, she's been one of my dear friends for like 20 years, and we were talking about it, and she was like, she said, my anxiety comes out when I'm the calmest, but if I step back for a second and I look at like the last day or two, there's a lot of stuff going on around there it's when I'm calm that it's coming out. She said, but my anxiety is definitely set off by things, and that kind of like made me look at it in a different way. Especially the fact that, like, when I was on vacation, I didn't feel it at all. And then we return from vacation, and it starts up again. And I have to believe that, I don't know, that maybe it does have something to do with, like, the regular routine of things, or, I don't know. Maybe I just need to take, a couple, 2 or 3 days, and just film my vlog, and, that doesn't, like in my head, that doesn't feel right, like what I want to do. I don't know, like when I was filming my drama video today, I was telling stories at the beginning of it and stuff, and I had so much fun doing the video today. So I don't know. I'm just, like, I feel like for the last 2 months, I've said I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and I am. Like I said, like even coming back from my hair appointment today, I was like, I'm going to film this drama video, blah, blah, blah. I knew I was going to talk to her. I didn't think it was going to end up being as big a deal as it was. She and I were talking, and we talked for probably about a half an hour. Oh, here comes my other neighbor. Hey! Who are you talking to right now, showing things to?
My dad.
Okay.
We're looking at everything.
Are you looking at everything?
Yeah.
So I was sitting here talking to my neighbor from next door, and then she came over with the neighbor. So I thought it was just the 3 of us, but it's actually the condo on the other side of them too. So it's the 4 of us. The woman whose little dog came over here that one time. And so, and she actually knows a lot about this stuff because she like revamps houses and stuff.
Anyway, so it's their issue, their problem.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh my lord.
Look at this.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean,
Well, that's just boards all rotted.
yeah. And see, this is the new stuff. And look at his side.
Well, I don't know how much of this is new.
This right here is new. I mean, I guess it's newer than this.
Yeah.
And that looks, I mean, that's how I would
Well, that's
expect
a
it to look.
mess. Look, that's just all rotted.
Yeah.
That's just rotted. It has nothing to do with the power wash.
That's what I was saying. I was wondering if maybe whatever wood they used was just.
Well,
not
it
as
looks like
good.
it's cedar.
Look
Looks
at-
like it's rough cedar. Oh, man.
I know that's bad, isn't it?
Wow.
And I talked to my cousin, she's a realtor, she said that couldn't be from the power wash.
That's not from the power wash.
That's not from the power wash, no.
That's rotted. That's just all rotted. So what makes me see, and this is all around the downspout.
Same with mine on the back. The same thing happened.
So I'm wondering if the downspouts are clogged.
And he's been saying that.
There's one of them on the front.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
like
pop-up
always
is
clogged.
just full of crap and it hasn't been cleaned. Matter of fact, the damn thing is broken. And they don't fix anything.
Well, I sent an email.
Good.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Well, because you guys were all saying send emails, so I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's a...
I love that that's the spot everybody keeps on taking the picture.
Mine's. You've got more on the. I have a big one just like that on whatever this.
That's
On
a
the.
soffit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soffit. Oh, wow, man, that is really...
Well, we'll see what they say.
See, even the gutter up there is broken.
Alex, that wasn't before though.
Yeah.
It wasn't before yesterday.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much is the power washing, how much it's not. I don't think unless you were here yesterday, you really understand how forceful it was.
It was
Yeah.
really loud.
I mean, it was more, I mean, I've heard power
And, like,
washing. It
these
was,
weren't exposed until they power washed.
Yeah.
So
Well, what I'm saying is that the power wash is probably causing part of the problem, but this is rotted wood.
well, yeah, that's, yeah, obviously,
And-
yeah.
And some of that's rotted too. You could just see that the way it's all come apart.
Look at her getting all of her pictures. You better get all your pictures. Alex has pictures of all of that.
I mean, as far as doing the power wash, they didn't even do a good job on the power wash because there's a lot of this stuff should all
She's
come
smiling
off.
at me as her dad is talking about
They
this.
probably
that's what he's talking about. This.
they
all
probably
happened.
backed off
Hey.
because it's just such a mess.
Yeah, they were probably like.
Just
"Holy
keep on peeling that stuff off and throwing it in my mulch. Just keep on peeling it off. It's your condo. Just keep on peeling it off and throwing it in my mulch over there. And you got to give me the email or that guy's number too,
Yeah.
so I can call about the mulch.
Another one of our complaints is like that's
Another one of our complaints.
a little trash. I found like multiple bags
Yeah, see that
in the backyard.
that has to be replaced.
Did you see what she called the? Did you see? Don't say because this is still going. Don't say the name. But did you see what she called our group text message?
Oh, did she change it?
Coalition of
Oh, I
disgruntled.
named it that.
Oh, you named it that? Coalition
of
disgruntled residents.
Because there were 4 of us out here earlier talking about it.
Well, nice talking with you.
It was nice talking to you too. It was good seeing you again. Yeah, go look at.
Wow, hasn't it?
I know. Go look at the deck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The deck that I was going to do this weekend, but I guess we'll be waiting now.
My freaking garden looked so nice.
Yeah.
It looked so nice.
Well, then you can think about it.
So I had to stop it because he started saying he was asking her about anyway who's in charge of this and whatever, and then because he knows some people in this neighborhood, so he started saying some names. But anyway, I'm like, I don't even know. Well, I guess now I'm going to include it since I just said that in there. But I was like, I don't know if I should include this or not. But should I just explain it now? Okay. So when I was I think I did explain part of this already. It's been a big HOA day. I actually have the newsletter right here that has nothing to do with any of this stuff. That no mention of it whatsoever. People are either going to love this or they're going to be like, that was such a boring interchange. I don't know, but I feel like I'm going to have to reference it later in further videos. And she knows, like, if the camera's up, it's going. So she's fully aware. Because I said to her at one point, like, the camera's going. She was just like, okay. So, She doesn't care. She always tells me, she's like, no, she's like, you can film me. I don't care at all. So anyway, so my neighbor next door, she texted me about picking the paint colors for the buildings. And so I texted her back and I said, she's like, are you home so I can come over and we can talk about it? And I said, no, I'm not home right now. I said, I'm at a hair appointment, but I'll be home. Like, this was right before I went into my, I think it was, I don't know. Anyway, I said what time I'd be home. And so she said, well, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I should be back then. So anyway, and I told her, I said, Alex is more concerned about the color of the condos than I am, because Alex is real concerned. That's like the one thing he cares about. Which it's interesting because I want this bluish gray color down here, and she wants the bluish gray color over there. The other resident is kind of indifferent on the other side. Well, her husband could care less. And then the woman on the other side, she's like indifferent to it. And she does not want the bluish gray color, and Alex does not want the bluish gray color. So it's going to be real interesting how the picking of the color of our condos goes. So anyway, because we get to pick the color of how I mean, you can't just say like we want pink. Like it has to be like go with the neighborhood. But they give you like paint samples, and you get to pick from the paint samples. So they have now, I guess my neighbor next door named it they were supposed to meet tomorrow at 11. The Coalition of Disgruntled Residents was originally scheduled for 11, but the person that's supposed to come out here and show us the samples can't make it then, so we're supposed to reschedule, and they're going to let us know, text you once we know, don't necessarily have to all meet at the same time to discuss, everyone just has to see the samples and weigh in, and hope we can find a consensus, is what they say. So anyway, so I texted Alex, and I said, I thought she had the paint samples, which she didn't. Because last time, which was like 7 years ago, that we got the condos painted, first of all, it was not this ordeal. Like, they did not replace the paneling. This kind of damage wasn't done. I don't even remember them power washing the buildings. So I don't remember all that stuff done. So, anyway, he and the neighbor next door, because at that time, I can't remember if she was living there yet or if it was still Norma, the 100-year-old woman. But anyway, it was just, Alex asked me if I cared. I said, you just pick it out. So it was the people that lived, the woman that lived in there, well, it was she and her husband, but her husband was like always in different states. So anyway, the woman, and they were really good friends. And so she and Alex picked out the colors for the condos. Well, they picked out this like kind of like beige color. It's not my favorite, but there was only like 4 colors I could pick from. I like this bluish gray because it looks kind of like very Cape Cod, and I think it's cute and here at the lakes and stuff like that. But anyway, it'll be whatever. So I texted him and I said, like, do you want me? And he's like, well, I want to see the samples. Like, he was like, I want to be, because he cares about that stuff. So anyway, so I got home, and then I was going to like film my video, but like she texted me and she said, I'm coming home right away. They had like I was like standing out here waiting for her when they got an order for, not sponsored, but they got an order for their dog, for Farmer's Dog or whatever that stuff called. And I was talking to the woman that was delivering it and asking her like about it and whatever. And then when she got back, I said, you got Farmer's Dog, does he like it? And she's like, oh, he'll eat anything, but yeah, he loves it. So I don't know anything about Farmer's Dog, but their dog loves it. So anyway, it was a big box of stuff. I thought it was like a HelloFresh box until and then she was walking away, and I was like, anyway. So I was looking at my bird feeders when the woman delivered it. So anyway, so then she came over, and I was just like sitting out here waiting for her, and she came over here and she sat on the front porch. And so she was talking about the paint samples, and we started talking. She's like, can we talk about this damage first of all? I thought I was like overreacting a little bit to it yesterday, and so I was like, I'm gonna kind of play it cool and whatever. She was very upset. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, all 3 of these women, my neighbor that just came over with her dad, the woman next door, and the one on the other side of her, they are all very calm. They were not today. They were very upset. And so the first thing is, I was not aware of this. So apparently the decks back behind our house are our responsibility. That this changed several years ago. I don't know if I was vlogging at the time, but we had to get like a new deck. The deck was like falling apart, and they had to get a new deck. It might have been before I was vlogging. Or before I had YouTube. I don't remember. But it was a huge issue. And so they ended up giving us a deck, but they were like, this is the last time that we're going to do a deck. All the residents are responsible for the decks from now on. So when they came in, they wanted to level their deck. It was like a wood deck like we all have. And they wanted just to put concrete back there. Just have it like you'd step down into concrete. And like Tanya's old patio used to be like that. Now she has like a deck like that. Well, she has the concrete, and then there's steps to the right where you can walk up on this deck. They just wanted it to be this big concrete slab where they could, have like a fence around it and stuff like that. I thought that was Alex. Did he text me yet? He said he'd be home about 6:30. And it's 5:38. No, he hasn't texted me yet. So several years ago, the HOA board did not approve for them to have the concrete. They said, no, you have to keep the deck, which they have a nice deck. I don't know why they wanted concrete. It's a nice deck. But they said it was like maintenance-wise, painting and power washing, because it's our responsibility. And so you have to get it power washed like every other summer or something like that, and repainted like every 3 summers. I can't remember when we did it last. So Alex's friend, her husband owns a contracting business that does like, it's like a minor contracting business. Most of what they do is like outside painting decks, power washing, things like that. And so they came out here and did a great job on our patio. I don't remember how many years that was, 2 or 3 years ago. Because before that, they like, maybe I was on YouTube at the time when they built the new patio. And they said, do you want it painted or do you want it just left like the natural wood? Well, I feel like I remember even talking about this on here. I don't know how many years ago that was. But we all got patios. So anyway, we had patios before, but they took them down and then they rebuilt them. So she left hers just like the natural wood. We got ours painted. Alex was like, I think we should paint it. So it was like this bluish gray color. Well, when they power washed it yesterday, I didn't even really think they were supposed to do the decks or whatever, but I didn't think much about it. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday or whatever, but like it looks like, here's the wall now. Okay, that was like completely fine before. Oh, you want a full scan? Let's look at this wall. This wall is bad now. So anyway, they power washed the deck. Well, I was like, okay, are we responsible for painting it now? I didn't know what we were gonna do. I mean, it's like the rails of it, everything. It's like, looks like that. Like all the paint's gone off of it. So I just assumed yesterday, I was like, I can't imagine that we're responsible. They're going to paint the condos. I'm sure they'll probably just paint the decks. I don't know. I just kind of thought that. Anyway, so she was like, they painted their own deck. They like a couple years ago. They hired painters and then she finished it and did this like special finish because she does all this kind of stuff. She revamps old furniture and sells it, and all, like that's what she does now that she's retired. Is like she gets old furniture from like antique malls and thrift stores, and then she repurposes it and makes it really cool. It's very artsy. So they did their deck that way. She is pissed. She's like, they power washed it and it didn't need to be power washed. And she was like, because we do it every year. She was like, her husband sets it on a low setting because he knows what he's doing with the power washer. She was like, we own our own power washer. She was like, so that he doesn't take like the glaze, and it's like, it's very artsy deck. It's really cool the way that they have it on certain stuff. She's an artist. It's like part of what she does. She used to be a school administrator. Now anyway, it's like worse than that. And so she's pissed. So that was like, she sent this email off like this morning, in this one email, and she was like, we are not paying for the deck. She was like, we did this several years ago. We hired people. Like, we want it done, and we want it done the way that we want it. She's like, so you're going to have to hire people to come out here and do it the way that we want it done. We just don't want it slabbed paint on there. Like, she's pissed. And so when she was talking about it, I was showing her this. Like, it's rotted wood. Which, okay, when I was talking to Caroline's like, that's not the power washing. She's like, that's the rotted wood. And I go, yeah, that's true. But they replaced several boards. I'm laughing because of how it happened. So they replaced several boards over here several years ago in her, in her side of it. And that's new. So then they must have put on there old wood when they repaired it. But worse than that, up there is this hole that's like a foot by a foot. Here, I have a picture of it. Alex took all these pictures last night. I don't want to get up from the chair because I'm lazy, you know. So here it is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a foot by a foot. You can see the insulation behind there. That's where my neighbor said, she said, well, like, you know, critters and, you know, like mice and whatever, birds are going to go in there. If you look to the right, there's like a hole like in it, okay? That was never there before. There is some rotting up there, but like power washing wouldn't take that off. I mean, it was fine before then. So anyway, I mean, you would have had to have had the power washer on like full charge. I don't know, like, I don't know. Anyway, they're really mad. They think that they low bid to get these guys out here that didn't know what they were doing with power washing because they weren't willing to, like, spend the money on the power washing, so they were trying to low bid everything on this. And so they low bid the power washing because they thought probably, like, everybody knows how to power wash, but these guys didn't know how to do it. And they were really nice guys, and they worked their asses off out there. But you could kind of tell they didn't really know what they were doing. So anyway, so when I showed her that, she goes, have you seen her house? And I said, no. She goes, she's got 3 on her side, on the back wall. And I don't know if she's got any on the back. So then she's like, and we've got 2 over there, and she's got like 2 or 3 on her side. I go, holes like that? She goes, oh yeah. She's like, it can't just be rotting. She said, because there's so many of them over here. Like, they had to have had it. She goes, so her husband went out there yesterday because he said, I don't want you guys on the deck. Because, like, they had done the deck, and they're like, well, we have to finish it now. And he's like, well, then finish it. So anyway, Alex noticed last night that when they brought the furniture in, they broke our table. And so now we're going to have to, like, get a new table, which is part of our couch set. So we're probably just going to get new patio furniture this year. So anyway, so it is such an eyesore all the way around these buildings. Well, hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good. Hi, Tiger. She always stops and looks up. She's so sweet. So anyway, so when she and I were talking, we talked about all kinds of stuff and whatever. But then she came over, and she came over with her. Like, she had walked down there to see the damage on her. I hadn't really looked at that point yet at all the condos. And she said that hers and theirs have gaping holes like that on the back. We don't, but they do. She's got like 5 holes like up in our corner, like all over the sides of her condo. And so what happened was that they said that the painters were coming out here next week. Well, she jumped on an email to the management company and included like the HOA. I'm sure that HOA president is not happy today. And was like, this has to be fixed. Like, you guys need to hire somebody that knows what they're doing to come out here. And yes, it's probably rotted wood. I mean, and like when I was talking to Caroline's like, this is normal. If you do it every 7 years, you're going to have rotting wood. You're going to have to replace the siding. And she's like, that's all completely normal. I said, yeah, we understand that with this, right? But like the holes, the damaged furniture, she goes, oh, no. Like, they need to replace that. Like, they damaged their couch over there, like their brand new couch they damaged. Their grill, they like picked it up and turned it upside down and broke their grill. I mean, and it was just, the thing is also is that 2 guys that were supposed to do all this stuff. I mean, it wasn't a big enough team. I don't know. I was telling Caroline I kind of felt bad. She was like, I don't know why you really feel bad. She was like, I mean, they were hired for a job. They didn't do the job. She was like, no, the rotted wood is one thing. She was like, they're going to have to replace that anyway. So it's whatever it is. She's like, but the broken furniture, the grill, she was like, the exposed spots. Because I sent Caroline the picture. She goes, there probably is some rotting around there. She was like, but my concern is that they're leaving it open. And she was like, when are they coming out there to fix it? I said, I have no idea. She goes, well, something could come out here. Well, when they were standing here, then they came over and they were sitting here talking. We sat and talked for like a half an hour. When we were talking, they looked up there and they said, there's wasps going around there. I'm like, great. So we're going to have a wasp hole in there, or a wasp nest in there. That's, whatever. And so then I like started kind of like getting upset about it. Well, she was like, she said something about, have you emailed? I said, no, like, I don't really like to do that kind of stuff, Listen, I bark a loud bark when I'm talking about the HOA stuff, but like I said, it's everybody else. Like, I don't really, get into all that kind of stuff. And so she's like, you need to email. And so my neighbor next door just came over with her dad. She goes, I am going to email. She goes, because I'm really upset. And she said she had been emailing back and forth, and they had included, like, the HOA president. She was like, she didn't really respond a whole lot or whatever. And so with the person that's in charge of like the whole like repairs in the neighborhood, which is weird because he's not even on the board, told her was that they were going to have somebody come out here and assess the damage, or assess like not the damage but the repairs of reconstruction, and that they were going to have it done within. And so she said, well, when are they coming out here? And he goes, within the next week. And then she said, and she works from home too, like all day long, meetings like on her computer and stuff. And so, and then she said, and then they're going to do the repairs in 1 to 2 days. Well, the woman that's like flips houses and is, anyway, over here, the realtor woman that flips houses, that's done this for like 30 years. She said, there's no way they can fix all this in 1 to 2 days. She said, there's no way. You're talking minimum 2 weeks, and for them to do it appropriately. So then she started going, she was like, if they come out here and try to do like a cheap job on it, she's like, they're going to come out here and redo it. Well, then they all were getting hyped up. Then I started getting hyped up a little bit about it, because I was like, yeah, they can't do a cheap job on it. She's like, they're wanting to rush this so much. And she was like, and they started this stuff without knowing what they were getting into. And my one neighbor was like, it's every 7 years. And I said, well, why didn't they come out here a year ago and assess this? So then we're all, getting into it. So then they all said that they were going to send emails and all this kind of stuff.
All this.
You want me to stop it?
No.
Okay.
I got a picture.
Did that make you feel better? To pick that off?
No, not really.
Alex got good pictures of it.
Pictures of all
I
this.
did already when you were here earlier.
All right, well,
How's your deck? Yeah.
And I'm seeing all these wasps everywhere.
Please don't say that about the wasps.
Yeah. It's scary. I don't like them.
I'm scared of them too. They're going to be in my house. Alex just texted me. He was on his way home. So, let's see if I got an email back from the management company. It was kind of late when I sent it, so probably not. I think they closed at like 4:30. So anyway, everybody was real heated about that. And then my neighbor across the street came out. She's like, what's going on? So then everybody was talking about it, you know? And everybody was talking about what's going on. I sent Tanya the pictures. She's like, it looks like tornado damage that we saw when the tornadoes came through. She's like, that's bad. And then what she was saying was, she's like, you know, we pay so much money in HOA. She's like, 7 years is too late. If this is the kind of rotting that we have in the woods, then 7 years is too late to do this. And they need to be like, have better wood on our, you know, anyway. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But then I was like, I don't know that I want to send emails. They're like, no, we need to all send emails. We need to be like together as a coalition, which is where the panel of disgruntled coalition or whatever it comes up with. So anyway, the other thing they're really upset about, I don't care this much about it, but she's really upset about it. She's really upset about it. And she's really upset about it. It's because they've all done their mulch in their yards for the year and I haven't. Is that when they did this, I don't know if you can see, this is where I still have the weeds. Oh my God, there's a wasp right in front of me. Okay. Oh, go away, wasp. I don't know if you can see, but there's like paint chips all over it. And then they left like, on her back patio, they left like 3 dirty bags. No, go away, go away. On her back patio, they left like 3 trash bags of like wet, dirty paper towels. They didn't clean, there's tape in the yard. They didn't clean up after themselves. So she brought it up first, and she was like, are we supposed to pick up, I guess she included it in her email. I didn't include it in my email. But she's like, are we supposed to pick up all these paint chips out of our mulch? She's like, we already mulched this year. And she was like, yeah, I paid somebody to mulch. So then they step back and she's like, oh, it looks bad. I mean, there's so much like paint chips in her mulch over there from the front of the house, the condo. And she's like, I mean, I guess I can get it. And she was like, no, that's not your responsibility. She's like, they need to come out here. She's like, they didn't finish the job. So it's like this huge deal now. So anyway, that's the HOA drama right now. But do y'all want to know about the HOA drama with the newsletter? So we got the newsletter today too. Which as soon as I said that to her, I said, well, we have that, because I had it out here right when I was talking to her. And this is before they came. She goes, we had a newsletter because they had to talk about the repairs. Oh, so this was the other thing that she and I were talking about. Because she said to me, she goes, I couldn't even work yesterday. And I go, she said, I had to leave to go up the street. And I think she ended up going to like some coffee shop or something to like do a Zoom meeting because it was so loud. And I go, well, I understand with the power washing and stuff like that. I said, I just wish we would know, like, when are they going to come out here and guesstimate some hours, like probably 8 to 6, you know? Okay, this was not going to be the day. And then like, we'll figure something out, you know, like, or I'll just know, like, I'll pre-film videos the night before. Those are days I can't film or whatever. And I'm not just talking about the power washing. The power washing was one day. I'm talking about the roofing, because they're going to be climbing on the houses. I mean, whatever. Like, I felt in the bedroom. There's literally no schedule of, like, these are the days that they're coming out here to, like, assess the construction and whatever. And so she was like, I can't. She was like, I have meetings I have to attend. She was like, I can't. I have to. I need to know. And I was like, well, that's a good point. She's like, well, I'm putting it in my email. Will you put it in your email, too, that you work from home? And I said, yeah, absolutely. A bird is going over there, and it's, like, evaluating the bird feeders to see if it wants to go to the bird feeder. Is it going to go to the bird feeder? I think it's going to. I think it might be the same little bird. It looks like it. No, it's eating bird seed that fell on the floor. And my 2 little corns on the cobs are sitting right there next to the tree. No animal has come and gotten them. My neighbor next door, she said, oh, She did. She went to the bird feeder. She went to the bird feeder. I'm going to name her Preciosa after Alex's aunt's dog. Can you see? Look. Look at that. All right. And then you get the rot. Here, we'll just focus on the sidewalk until it's fanned out. Okay. I get one bird on a bird feeder and I get so excited. Can you just imagine when this, like, if they start really figuring out that there's bird feed there? Oh, this little bunny rabbit came last night when I was out here talking on the phone. And it, like, jumped in the yard and then it came over here. And then it came over and, like, I had taken some food the night before and put it on Easter. Saturday going to Easter and then Sunday, and I put it on the sidewalk, and it must have eaten that or it rained away or whatever. So it was like jumping in the yard, and you could tell it was kind of like looking around like, where's the food? And so I took some bird feed out of the wooden bird feeder, and I put it like on the ground, and then it came back and it was eating it. I was so excited. So anyway, so yeah, so it's just like this cornmeal mix. Anyway, because it says on there it's safe for birds and all kinds of like critters and animals and stuff like that. So anyway, when I was telling her about the newsletter, she was like, oh, we got a newsletter. Does it say? I said, it doesn't say anything about the reconstruction. So anyway, so she was asking me, she's like, can you please in your email include, I didn't want an email, but I did send the email off. It was very nice. It was a very nice email. So I included, I said, I work from home. Like, can you give us some kind of schedule to know, like, I mean, we don't even know now, like, is it next month? Is it June? Is it July? We have no idea. Is it going to be on the weekends too? Like, should I change my entire, like, filming schedule and be heavy on the weekends and not as heavy during the, you know what I mean? Like, just can you give us something? Should I plan on filming in the evenings? And, you know, it's just, I got to figure out something. She's like, I can't change my schedule. I was like, yeah, I mean, I could film outside, you know, at night and pre-film videos for the next day when it's warmer. She can't do that. I mean, she's got meetings all day long that she has to do Zoom calls or Zoom meetings from, so she can't. So she's like, I need to know because I'm gonna have to plan ahead if I'm gonna go somewhere. And like, she's like, I can't just go to a coffee shop every day. Like, I'm gonna have to go to somebody's house or go somewhere if it's quiet. And I look at her and I go, well, you can come to my house. She goes, well, it's gonna be loud at your house. I didn't even think. So anyway, let me read you. Okay, so this is from the former HOA president. I don't even know why he is writing anything on here. This is like 4 years. He's like 4 presidents ago. There are dozens of jokes about HOAs, like ours. They get real bitter about the HOA. Did you hear the one about an HOA's favorite way to spend money? Buy more red tape. I don't understand what that means. Can somebody explain that to me? Or why did the HOA bought, there's so many typos in this thing, it drives me crazy, a new coffee machine so it could espresso its authority. Dumb. Anyway, you rarely hear or read anything favorable about HOAs and the rules, including ours, but I don't understand why. There are rules where you work, blah, 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 whatever. Basically what this lesson says to us is that you can either work towards changing the rules or you can shut your mouth, is what it says basically on here. But the rules of our HOA have one major advantage over many other places where rules govern your behavior. We can change them. Only if you get elected to the board and you choose to... I said to her today, I said, the one thing they did say... Because I had read this whole thing before she came over here. Oh, that's what I was doing when she came over here. I was reading it. I said, you know, we could be on the board. She goes, I'm not getting on that board. She goes, no. And she pointed across the street. She said it was the worst misery of her life. I said, I'm not getting on the board either. But she goes, I know. She goes, we shouldn't complain. She goes, but there has to be better ways for us to make changes without being on the board. She goes, plus it's been the same 6 people for the last 20 years. She goes, she was the only new person. She goes, and they drove her off because they drove her crazy in every meeting. And then it talks about reading the bylaws and all this kind of stuff. For the next several issues of the newsletter, he's going to include parts of the bylaws in here. But this issue, he wants to focus on the procedure to amend the bylaws. It goes in this whole thing. Talks about who has the right to vote and who can't vote and all this kind of stuff. And the issues of voting this summer are on the lakes, the swimming pools, the tennis courts, and it says bathhouse. I didn't realize we had a bathhouse in here. What do they mean? Now I want one of my neighbors to walk by so I can ask them, what do they mean by I bet they mean guardhouse. There are so many typos in this. Why would we need, do you think they mean the bathrooms at the pool? Why would we need rules about the I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. Okay, I am gonna get such a kick out of telling my neighbors that this one, who there's a lot of people on here that have issues with, absent-mindedly, oh my god, there's another bird coming over to my birdhouse, my bird feeder. Or maybe it's the same bird. I think it's the same bird. Oh, there's two birds! Referred to it as a bathhouse. Like, why was that your go-to? Then there's the president's report, where she would ask that we read the HOA covenants. I don't know why they are so heavy on, did the birds come up? Why they're so heavy on the rules and the covenants in this letter, but something major must be coming. Then they talked about all the expenses that it's like, did it go out of focus? All the expenses that this year is going to be. You want to hear what the big issue is this year? Not the reconstruction, not our condos falling apart. No, our big, there's my neighbor leaving right now in her VW convertible. She's so cute. One from next door. The big issue is this. The rules our owners must follow outlined in these sections, including being physically present when a guest is fishing in an area away from your condo. And as lakes are privately owned, stocked with fish and maintained by the association, using your fees, it says in here, non-resident fishing is prohibited. I know some do not see a problem with surrounding me and my neighbors. We don't care if anybody fishes in the lakes. But please understand, other residents feel this intrudes on their peach, it says. Marlahampton's peach, they're peach and quiet and the use of the outdoor space. And then it goes on to explain, in regard to the above issues, fishing is an issue. It all comes down to respect for your neighbors and their right. Okay. Then it goes on, we've got the landscaping, residency, all this kind of stuff. Today, I came out here, and so, you know, we had to put all the furniture back up here after they did the power washing yesterday. So I cleaned all the table, the furniture, and everything out here. This table, which is, okay. So I was inside, and I heard the leaf blower guy, and he came up. He was new, or the blowing guy, and I heard him come up, and I looked out, and it was this guy. So the one I talked to is new, but it was this guy that I had seen before. Oh, there's like two birds over there now. They're so excited. They're like, what are these new houses for us? But the guy that came up here and blew there was so much, it was a mess up here of dirt. I don't know if he's blowing from down there. So anyway, he came up, and there was two of them walking down the street. And I specifically have told him on two separate occasions, I was like, can you please not, like, come up our walkway? Like, there's no grass or leaves. Like, we don't need the front, area blown. And he's always like, yeah, that's totally fine. And then he comes up here anyway. So today I heard him. I could hear him. Like, I was upstairs and I heard him. So I, like, ran downstairs to come out here. And when he saw me, he, like, he started walking down the street. Well, the other guy was, because the other guy's driving the thing where they're picking up sticks and whatever. So he like, saw me looking, and he was like, is there a problem? And I said, can I ask you a favor? And he was like, yeah, what? And I said, I've asked him before. I said, I don't know if he forgets or whatever. I said, but can you guys not blow, like, my walkway or my front porch? Because it just blows, like, the mulch and the dust. He's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, what's your address? I told him my address. He was like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, I'll make sure that we note that, and I'll let everybody else know. He was like, is there anybody? He's like, do you know anybody else? I go, well, they don't want theirs blown either because it's her garden. And he goes, okay. He goes, well, I'll make sure that, like, both of you guys that's easy to remember than across the street. I said, I really appreciate it. He was, the camera stopped. I'm like, why do you guys keep on coming up here and blowing this? There's nothing we don't need it blown up here. So the landscape thing goes on about, oh wait, there has been a new tree. Talking about new trees planted. Like, literally this is the makings. This is real sweet. The new tree was planted for a resident that passed away in here, who actually, I've told this story before, this guy passed away. I actually found out from Caroline, because it was my Uncle Dave's, like, one of his really, really good friends. And he used to live right over there, and then his wife passed away, and then he moved out, and then he moved back in. But my Uncle Dave used to walk with him, like, when they lived in this neighborhood over here. They were, like, lifelong friends. And he came to both my aunt and uncle's funerals and stuff like that. Really, really nice guy. He's the one that I told the story about how he used to walk his dog. His dog's name was Gizmo. Oh, there's all kinds of birds. Oh my God, there's like 4 more birds out there now. It's supper time, that's why. But anyway, so he had this dog named Gizmo that I found out later had passed away. He like rescued this dog, and the dog had no tail, and he said, hey, how are you? Good, you getting ready for pool season? She's laughing. She was, She laughed like that. I love my neighbors so much. So anyway, well, some of them. Most of them. But she's one of my pool ladies. Anyway, she don't come very often, but I love her. She's so funny. She just nods and laughs with people and stuff like that. I'm like, does she agree with us? I don't know, but she has a good laugh. So anyway, what was I saying? So anyway, so he was the one that had the dog, this little dog named Gizmo. I'll never forget when I told Alex this, because Alex loved this guy too. And, like Alex, when he would leave for work, he was always walking his dog in the morning because he would take people's newspapers and throw them up in the driveway and stuff like that. And so I asked him about his dog Gizmo. He had rescued him, and Gizmo had no tail. I said, why does Gizmo not have a tail? And he said, well, his past owner that they like rescued the dog from left him outside, and his tail got frostbitten, and like they had to take it off. That's so cruel, isn't it? So anyway, but he loved this dog. But he walked this dog on a leash every day. Oh, there's my husband. He's went. So when his wife passed away, he was walking by the house right like the day after or 2 days after or whatever. I don't know, maybe it was like a week after, I can't remember. But I said to him, I was like, are you doing okay? And he was like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing okay at all. This crushed me. I remember standing in the kitchen telling Alex this, and he goes, I think he was married 50 years, because 50 years is a long time to love somebody. I was like, oh my God. And he said, and I said something about Gizmo or something. He goes, I'm not walking Gizmo on a leash anymore. And he goes, she's free and he's free now. He goes, he can just walk wherever he wants to walk. I don't care. He goes, they can get all mad about it in the neighborhood. He goes, I'm not walking him on a leash. I mean, this little dog was so sweet. It was like this little big. And he had just like walked down a little street like this right next to him every day. He replaced the carriage lights, and then he threw up the newspapers. That's what he did every day, this guy. But so nice. So he passed away last month. I actually found out from Caroline. And so they planted a tree at the pool in honor of him, which I think is really, really nice. A sunset maple, it says. For many years, and as a friend to all, it says in here. Anyway, it was really sweet. And then they're talking about what condos are available in this neighborhood, and they said that it is, things have slowed down quite a bit as far as sales in the neighborhood. And then the financial report, and they talk about how much money we have in the neighborhood, and thank God we have all these savings and things like that. Well, we should, because we pay so much for HOAs that they better make this glorious. Watch when I do the final tour, and I'll be like, look how good it looks. And we were all sitting out here complaining about it today. Then they talked about the board, all these people that are volunteers for doing the carriage light replacement. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I guess it's one per street that they replaced the carriage lights. Well, we have to do these, but on the end. There's always usually, oh, no, there's no joke. I forgot what it is. I didn't even turn it over yet, and I just remembered. An Andy Griffith trivia test. Ask me how old my average neighbor is before I tell you that. What they include in here is the Andy Griffith trivia test. Okay. The Lake Committee report. I didn't even know we had a Lake Committee. A contract has been let to clean out the... This is what she was talking about. She was so pissed today because they put this whole thing out, apparently on the annual report, about how they hired this scientist. I think I did read part of this, actually, to do a research study on what fish are best for our lakes. They're literally ponds, you guys, okay? People get so mad. She called them ponds today. She's like, those effing ponds. Because they won't even let the kids fish on the pond. She's like, they'd rather have them like trash our houses or something. She goes, nobody fishes except for one person, and then her and her husband. And they just sit out there on this boat and they just float. Okay, that's all they do. They don't even like hardly fish. She just sits out there, I don't know, with like a gin and tonic while her husband fishes. But anyway, nobody fishes. So we're literally putting in here something like $80,000 worth of fish, and like you have to clean out the lakes every year and all this kind of stuff. It's like $80,000 to do all this. So one couple can fish on these lakes. People are pissed about it. I don't care. Just let us go to the pool as late as we want. That's all I care about. So, the month of May will be here soon, bringing the best fishing of the year, it says. As the water temperatures reach the 60s, bass and bluegill will be heading for warm... Like there's a long river going into our neighborhood or something. For warm, shallow water to spawn, making them much easier to locate. Bass are vulnerable to surface lures casting along the banks. The banks of what? I mean, like, they act like we have to, like we're on Lake Michigan or something. And please return any bass you catch during this period to the water so the spawning may be completed. Well, that's nice. And then it talked about the building committee report. Here's us. Oh, it says our address is on here. It says contracts for, oh, they have been awarded and work will start shortly. The buildings to be repaired and painted are. Talks about bubbling at the ground to see if there's a downspout that's broken. Stopped up drain lines. We don't have any problems with our sump pump in our basement yet. I should knock on wood, shouldn't I? Damp basements or crawl spaces if allowed to dump water next to the buildings over time. We don't have that problem. And then there is the Andy Griffith Show quiz. Would you like to know the question? Since I always do tests. I didn't know one of these answers. Who was Floyd the Barber's personal hero? Calvin Coolidge, the president. Okay, what was the names of the fun girls? Skippy and Daphne. Who taught Aunt Bee how to drive? Goober Pile. Number 4. I thought it was Gomer Pile. Was there Goober Pile too? Number 4, at the YMCA. Oh, that was the answer. Sorry. Where was Barney when the Darling family came to Mayberry the first time? At the YMCA in Raleigh. Who was the farmer that refused to get a tetanus shot? Rafe Hollister. What is the name of the guard at Mayberry Security Bank? Ace Sabrini. What is the name of Thelma Lou's cousin that it is Gomer, that Gomer dates? Mary Grace Gossage. Who won the Mayberry Beauty Pageant? Pageant spelled P-A-G-E-N-A-T. Pageant. Alexis Mateo won, from RuPaul's Drag Race, won Miss Continental Elite last night. So congratulations to her. Who won the Mayberry Beauty Pageant? Nettie Albright. What tune does the town band practice for the evening concert? Stars and Stripes Forever. Stars and Stripes Forever. So that's the newsletter this week, which I pour over everybody. So last night, I don't even remember what I did last night first. Oh, I know what I did. What was last night? Monday? Alex came home from dinner. Before he came home from dinner, I started watching Hacks Season 3. I can hear him in the kitchen. Are you cooking dinner? Before, I was like, is he walking over there? Before, he probably thinks I'm like talking to the griller across the street or something. Before he came home, I started watching Hacks Season 3. And I was like, I didn't realize there were 3 episodes out. I guess all the shows come out on Saturdays or Sundays now or something like that, because I had like 4 shows to catch up and they came out on a Sunday. So I started watching Hacks last night. He came home from dinner and he was like, I'm so tired, I'm going right to bed. So I said, okay. So we went upstairs. I went upstairs and I talked to him for a little bit. I was telling him about Hacks. He was telling me about his girlfriends at dinner and things like that. So anyway, and so then he went to bed real early last night. Is that a blue jay getting ready to eat for my thing? No. That is a pretty bird though. It's like black and brown. Oh, they're all going over there. I love it. They eat on the ground first. Is this normal? They eat on the ground first and then they fly up to the bird feeders. Are they like evaluating whether or not they like the bird feed or not? If this one goes up to the wood bird feeder, I'm going to show it to you because it's like right underneath it. Oh, please go up there. You'd be the first one that's gone to the wood bird feeder. They all go to the green one. It's going over to the corn on the cobs now. Oh, it's picking up the corn. Honey, I think that's too big for you. This has become my life, watching birds. It flew away. Must have had enough, I guess. It's looking for dessert now. Oh, I need to put dessert out there for it. Anyway, I will say one thing. Like, all this stuff with this gives me more time to come up with ideas for my bohemian back patio. I've been looking that up online. Pictures of bohemian patios. There's not a lot of great pictures online, so I looked them up, and it's always just pillows and blankets. It looks like a hippie's den. So anyway, oh, you know what? That's the part I forgot to put in Sister Wives, my coverage of it yesterday. So they're going to come up. Janelle and Caleb and Maddie were going to call their farm Hippie's Paradise, but then they said, maybe I did include that about the marijuana. Anyway, somebody's walking down the street. I can hear somebody. But anyway, so I ended up watching all 3 episodes of Hacks. season 4, season 3 ended on such a weird note. If you watch Hacks, I love Hacks. I love Jean Smart. I think she's fantastic. She's so good in it, and I don't know the girl that plays Ava, but she's so good in it too. So it's about this comedian that's kind of like aged out doing a residency in Las Vegas. That's how the first season starts. And so she hires this, like, she doesn't want to, but I think it's her, like, agent tells her that she has to hire this, like, keep her up to date, like this. There's my other neighbor. Oh, there's pool crew lady number 1. Anyway, so it's like they form this relationship, and it's like they bicker, they fight a lot, whatever, but it's like really endearing. So it's on the 4th season now. Well, something really pivotal happened at the end of the 3rd season, so I didn't really know how it was going to go into the 4th season. And so I started watching it last night. It does not disappoint. It is still, I thought, how are they going to keep it up, the momentum? It's like, it just gets better each season. I don't even really know how to explain it. She's waiting for her husband to move his car out of the garage, is what she's doing. She's sitting in the car waiting for him to, like, there are so many Blue Jays in this neighborhood. So anyway, I watched that. When I got done with that, I was like, I'm going to lay down. So I laid down. I don't know what time that was. I think it was like 10 o'clock or something like that. And I woke up at like 11:30, and I was like, I'm going to read, I'm going to watch shows and whatever. The anxiety, she's getting out of her car. What's she doing? Oh, he's going to move her car for her, I guess. Oh, because she's got all kinds of stuff she's taking inside, bags and things like that. Oh, she's got a big backpack. So she quit so she retired. She's a retired school teacher from a Catholic school. She retired, and then she had a part-time job that she was working, and then she quit the part-time job, and oh, they've got their grandbaby with them. That's why she's got all that stuff. And then she had a part-time job, and she loved her part-time job. It was like they ended up like, I feel like this happens to so many friends of mine that they were retired and they're like, I'm just going to work like 10 hours a week, and before you know it, they're made manager and they're like working 40 hours a week, but they love it, so they don't want to quit, and the money is nice for extra things. That's like the part about retirement that people don't tell you about. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I was just reading the newsletter right here.
Were you?
I was.
Well, good. Did you get all the information?
I got all the information. Have a good one. She's passing them out right now. Oh, she wants to make sure she hands this to her personally. She's going to give it to her personally. My neighbor across the pool crew lady, she was like, I do not want to see you right now. She's like, she has this look on her face like, I'm ready to get in the door. So anyway, but she has a part-time job and she absolutely loved it. And so, but she's like, she's like, it was just kind of like a sales job. And she's like, the money's good. They made me a manager, but I didn't want to be a manager because I just retired from a full-time job. Her husband doesn't have a part-time job. He just plays tennis and golf, but she did it because she wanted to get out of the house a couple days a week. So she's like, I need to do something that like I love the job, I love the money, but I need to do something that's like, do you hear the birds? They're so pretty. She's like, I need to do something that brings me like more enjoyment. So she is volunteering. I don't think I took my allergy medicine now. All of a sudden, it's just like I can feel it in my chest. So she is volunteering, and she has got the coolest volunteer position. So she started that about 6 months ago, I think. Maybe it was the end of last summer. I don't remember. But she said it's going to allow her a lot of pool time this summer. But she loves it, too. She loves this volunteer job that she's doing. It's like a charitable volunteer job. It's like kind of hospice. It's really meaningful job, and she loves it and stuff like that. So, anyway, so I got up last night, and when I got up, since Boo Radley's passed, it has probably been one of the worst incidents of anxiety that I have felt. I mean, it was the shaking from the inside out. I don't even know how to explain it. And I also felt like sick to my stomach. I've never had the anxiety where I feel that sick to my stomach before. And I just laid there in bed, and I just was like, I can't get out of bed. I literally felt like I couldn't get out of bed. And Alex was asleep, and I was like, no, you can get through this. I didn't want to wake him up or anything like that. I mean, it was like probably a good 2 hours Tanya was asleep. Everybody was asleep. Finally, I talked to Nikki. Nikki kind of like helped me. She like kind of talked me through it a little bit. And it just was a lot. It just was, I just really, I don't even really know how to explain everything. It was bad. It was just really, really bad. And then finally, and I wanted to read, and I don't know like what other people have experienced, but in that moment, like I really couldn't focus on anything, like watching a show, like reading a book, listening to it. I just was like in it. Like I don't even really know how to explain it. Couldn't sleep, couldn't get comfortable. It was probably one of the worst times that I've ever felt that way. Like I was questioning, like I didn't think I was going to come out of it. You know, it wasn't like a panic attack. Like I didn't feel like that, but it was probably halfway there, I would say. And it lasted for a long time. And it wasn't like around New Year's when I was like, I just felt anxious. I couldn't come out of it like that, like shaking inside my skin. Like I felt like I was not going to come out of it. Like I don't really know how to explain it. And so Nikki really, really helped just talking to Nikki. And I said, just talk to me about other stuff. Just make me laugh. Talk to me about other stuff. So she did. And I started calming down and stuff. Well, before I called Nikki, who is this dog? This is a pretty dog. Oh my Lord. Hey, how are you? What's your dog's name?
Not our dog. It's our. Oh, who are you? He's from Idaho Falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm from Indiana.
You are?
I'm also from Idaho Falls.
Okay. Where's your parents?
You're at the house. We're just like walking by ourselves.
Okay. Be safe, okay?
We will.
They're from, they had this dog. This dog was like huge. And this like, do you remember that dog? That like, I don't remember what that dog's name was, but it had like the flowing hair and it was real tall, like 101 Dalmatians. Anyway, that was hilarious. So, yeah, like it took me, I felt like I couldn't come out of it. I just felt like I'm never going to get out of this feeling. I just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I just felt wrecked. And so Nikki got me laughing, was telling me about other stuff. So finally I went inside and I was like, oh, when I was talking to Nikki was talking about all these TikToks. I was like, tell me about something that I just don't know anything about. I don't care anything about, whatever, get my mind off this. So she started talking about how she had been looking at these TikToks about, she's thinking about watching Love After Lockup. Because she had been seeing all these TikToks about this one guy that has 2 girlfriends on the show in the new season. I go, is there a new season of Love After Lockup? She's like, yeah, it came out like a month or 2 ago. So I like looked it up on my phone, and she's like, you used to watch Love After Lockup, didn't you? I go, I watched like 1 season of it. I said, I'm so confused of how they do it. She goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, like Love After Lockup sometimes is all new couples, but sometimes it's not. And I said, and then they take like couples from the most recent season plus couples from 3 seasons ago, and they put them all together in Life After Lockup, which literally starts right after Love After Lockup ends. So it just feels like a continuation. I don't really know how to explain it. It's confusing. And on certain streaming services, when you look, it won't say like, so the 6th season just started. It won't say, or started a month ago. It won't say season 6, episode 1. It'll say like episode 48. And so I'm like, what? Like and it's like it has Love After Lockup and Life After Lockup together. Has anybody else experienced this besides me? Because I've shared this on here before that I would love to watch it, but I'm very confused as to where to start. Other than if I start at like literally like episode 1 and go through it. So I looked it up last night, and I have it on AMC, which is weird, because AMC is like The Walking Dead, Dark Winds, but it's on AMC. So I pulled, because I like Google, Nikki was watching it on Philo or something. I don't have Philo. So I was looking it up, and I was like, oh, it's on AMC. Was it? I think it was on AMC. So I looked it up, and it has it by season, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was like, oh, and there's like 5 or 6 episodes out. So I was like, she goes, well, I think I'm going to, like, because I said, well, what are you going to do when we get off the phone? She goes, I think I'm going to start. She had already started it. She was like halfway through the first episode. She said, I think I'm going to watch a couple more episodes. I said, well, maybe I'll watch it, and then I will, then I'll start like reacting to it on my Peter Watches TV channel. And so I put something up on my Peter Watches TV channel, and I was like, should I watch this or should I, here, let's look in here and see. Should I watch this or should I not? Or should I watch it and react to it? And I think, oh, see, here was where I put hacks up that I was watching. Love After Lockup. And I said, should I start watching this again and react to it? Okay, hold on, let's see what the answers are. I didn't even look. Activity. Okay. 74 to 26 is what the percentage is. Which was interesting because 68 people said yes, 24 people said no. So it's a popular Instagram over there. Let's see who said. Oh, you can go in and see who said yes and who said no. Interesting, I didn't even know that. Anyway. Every time I put that up there, sometimes people like, it's always like the same people that tell me no. And I'm like, well, do you want me to review anything then? What do you want me to review? Tell me what you want me to review. So anyway, so I came inside and I like lit the candles. I was like, I was starting to feel more relaxed, but I still felt anxious. I mean, to be honest with you, it never really went away last night. Like the whole night I felt it. It was just that first 2.5, 3 hours, like it was extreme. And so I never really got out of it. And my stomach was hurting and it was like the whole night, it just was bad. And so I went in and because I told Nikki, I said, well, I'm going to finish Dark Winds. I had half of the first episode to watch. And I said, and then I guess I'll start watching Love After Lockup because I didn't know there's like only 5, 6 episodes to catch up on. I said, then I can react to it on my Peter Watches TV channel. People kind of seem to like when I react to like Sister Wives, 1,000-Pound Sisters, Love After Lockup. People have asked me a lot to cover Love After Lockup. I get a lot of DMs about that. So I went in and I watched it. At that point, it was like 3 or something in the morning. It was late. I hadn't really read anything, and I just really couldn't focus on it. So I started watching Love After Lockup last night. Crazy to think that Love After Lockup calmed my ass down, but it really did. And so I ended up watching 2.5 episodes of Love After Lockup. Now, that was what I was going to make my video about today, or 9 dead bodies in a Mexican morgue. But I think what I'm going to do is try to finish... Well, I was going to make... Oh, tomorrow is 1,000-Pound Sisters, because 1,000-Pound Sisters is on tonight for my Peter Watches TV channel. So then, I'll probably finish it tonight, though, too. But Love After Lockup, when I get caught up, I'm going to do a reaction to all the episodes that are out. So that'll probably be... What is tomorrow? Wednesday? That'll be Thursday. So fine. Oh, there's another bird. I love that the birds are now coming to my bird feeders. So, oh, see, it went to the green one. I love you, but please go to the wood one. Maybe they don't understand it, or maybe it's too low. I think maybe it's, but you know what, at Alex's aunt and uncle's house, like his were like probably this far off the ground, and they were like eating it like crazy. So I don't know that that's true, but I could probably raise that a little bit so it's easier for them to get to. Maybe it's hard for them to swoop in because it's so low. Yeah, I'm gonna raise that one a little higher. Where could I put it that I could still see it though? I'll figure it out. Oh, that bird's eating a lot. Well, hi, honey. It's like eating and then spitting some of it out. I asked Alex's uncle, I said, do squirrels come in and like eat the food? He goes, no, because the birds knock it out of the bird feeder and then the squirrels just come to the ground underneath it and eat, which I thought was kind of, I didn't think about that, you know? I haven't seen any squirrels on the tree try to get to it. But I also haven't seen any squirrels try to get the 2 corn cobs that are underneath the tree. So, and then I got up today. I felt better today, but like still, like the first, I would say, hour that I woke up, it was definitely worse than it's been recently, but better than it was last night. Enough that I was able to get myself together and go to my hair appointment today. So I went to my hair appointment, and I feel like this is like the most bizarre vlog, and it's kind of all over the place. But enough to like go to my hair appointment. Went to my hair appointment, got an Uber there. The woman on the way there, she and I got talking about, oh my God, we just had like the most fun conversation. And then the woman on the way back, I felt so bad for her. I didn't really understand what was going on, honestly. She was real nice, but like when I got in the car, you know, I always like, they roll down their window and I say their name and then they say my name. Anyway, so I got in the back of the car and she like kind of turned and looked at me and she was like bawling. And I think I said like right as I got in the car, I said, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm okay. And she kind of turned away. She didn't say anything, had no music on like the whole time or whatever. I think at the end maybe she had some music on. But anyway, it was just silent, and she was just bawling the whole time. Like, I didn't know what, I asked her like twice. I said, are you okay? Like, I didn't want to be like I just overbearing or anything, but I felt bad for her, and and she was like missing streets and stuff, like, cause like the phone is like right there, so you can see like the map, I think it was a lift I had to go back and forth, but anyway, so it has the map, so you can see it. Well, she was like going, like, she wasn't really paying attention to it, and she was just like going right past streets. And I'd say, and I felt bad, but I'd be like, I think you're supposed to turn left here. I mean, I knew the way home to my own house, but she was like, oh, I'm sorry, and then she would like turn left, and when she got home, I said something to her. I said, I'm sorry. I said, maybe you should just take the rest of the day off or something like that. And she was like, thank you. I felt so bad for her, but I hope she's okay. So anyway, now I'm home, and Alex is home, and we haven't watched Atlanta yet. What else do we have to watch? Oh, and Traders UK. So we didn't do that last night. So we might watch some TV. We might watch some TV tonight. It's really, really nice tonight. So I'm going to take a walk and listen to this audiobook. I got to finish this audiobook. Tonight I want to dedicate some time to her. Oh, there's Pool Crew Lady number 2. Oh, it's Pool Crew Husband number 2. And then both of their husbands actually go to the pool. It's really fun when it's both of the couples and then Alex and I. That's when it's really fun. They love Alex so much. They're always like asking him all these questions, stuff like that. So tonight I'm going to take a walk. As soon as I get this vlog like rendered and I'm uploading it, I'm going to take a walk. And then, it's beautiful outside tonight. So that's it. So, it's been kind of a crazy day. Hopefully tomorrow I'll just be filming videos and, tomorrow I'll just be filming videos and relaxing and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully tonight I feel much better. And then on Thursday I have therapy. I don't really know what's going on, in all honesty, but I do know that the battery just went to the halfway mark, and I have no idea how long I've been vlogging now. So I'm going to get off here now, and I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday. No meeting for Tanya and I. We'll probably go next Tuesday to a meeting and probably see each other this weekend sometime. And, yeah. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. I love you guys. Have a peaceful, calm, serene evening. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.